What's up again? Frederic's here. Welcome to another video of my channel. Basically, there's something new of the Godzilla series right now. This thing going around the internet, and I kind of want to discuss it with you guys. Basically, there's basically a new era of Godzilla films. When there's new Godzilla films of this decade, there's got to be a new name of a new era, right? Basically, throughout the years, we always know. Well, basically throughout the decade, we always know of the previous three eras. You know, the original Showa era, which basically shows the original 15 Godzilla films from the 60s and 70s. Well, let me tell you something. The original Showa era, it all started with the 1954 release of Gojira, and it ended all the way to 1975's Terror of Mechagodzilla. And the Heisei era, it begins with Godzilla in 1985, ends all the way to Godzilla vs. Destroya in 1995. And even since the Zilla film ruined everything, they basically brung in Godzilla back with another new celebration since the early 2000s, which is basically the Millennium Era. Started with Godzilla 2000, all the way ended to Godzilla 2004's Godzilla Final Wars. And now in this decade, though, we finally get new Godzilla films, and all of us G fans are just really excited and just really looking forward to new Godzilla films later on in the future. It's just going to be really exciting. I just could not wait for this. Just could not wait for this era to keep going. Just don't know how's it going to end, though. So yeah, but basically earlier, last month, Japan already announced the new name of the new era, which is called the Reiwa Era. Reiwa or Reiwa, it's basically Reiwa, okay? Just put it that way. It means so the words mean peace, harmony, whatever that means, okay? Basically, it is a really good name for this new era, the Reiwa Era, which is basically the new era that's going to be with our new Godzilla films of this decade. Basically, for the past few years, we already got some Godzilla films throughout this decade. You know, since Godzilla 2014, Shin Godzilla in 2016, and the 3 Netflix anime Godzilla films, those are the 3 movies I haven't seen yet. And basically, Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters of this year in 2019, and Kong vs. Godzilla next year in 2020. And hopefully, basically when Legendary will continue on the series, will put out a Godzilla 3, and Toho might give us another live-action Japanese Godzilla film until 2022, which is basically 3 years away, but it will come. But we just have to wait patient. We just have to be patient, okay? If they're ever going to give us another Godzilla film in Japan. And the other thing is, if you guys always think of what the Showa era is like the Showa era, the original film, some people think that the Showa era starts with the original, all the way ends to Godzilla 1985, and people think that Godzilla vs. Violente in the Heisei era, it begins with 1989, all the way to 1995. And even the Millennium Era, they think that it's still a Heisei era with more Godzilla Heisei films, but basically it's the Millennium films, what they ever want to call them. Basically, I did grow up with the Millennium films, which I just love those movies so much. And basically, when Final Wars is done, they're basically just giving a Godzilla another few years of break. And basically, we're all going to know that Godzilla will come back someday, and Godzilla is already back, since 2014, And basically, some people think the Reiwa era should start with Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters. Well, as a really huge Godzilla G fan, I'm really thinking that the Reiwa era should start all the way back to where Godzilla 2014 was. Basically, that's where it should all begin. We already got the new Godzilla film since in that year. That's the very first movie that Godzilla is now back for the 4th time in the 4th era, you know. And then Toho brought him back with another film in Japan, which is Shin Gojira. And the other films, which is basically the Netflix original films, which is the anime Godzilla films, and even Godzilla, and especially Godzilla 2, 2019. There will be more Godzilla films later on in the future that Legendary and Toho might promise us. So this might be interesting. to get to know this new era of the Reiwa era. Basically, it's just really interesting. Like, what do you guys think about this new era? Let me know in the comments down below and tell me what you think. So basically, I think this era is going to be pretty good because we already got 7 films, I believe. Basically, you know, the G-14, Shin, the 3 Netflix Godzilla films, Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters, and Kong vs. Godzilla, and basically Godzilla 3, or in a 2022, probably a 2022 Toho film of a new Godzilla film, which is 3 years away, and again. So, anyways, guys, if you guys are like interested in this or anything like that, it's just really cool. Like, it's just really interesting, like how they're just announcing a new era, which is basically the Reiwa era. Like, that is just so interesting. So, can't wait what they're just gonna go with this new era, like in the future, until whenever when it's gonna end, and until a few decades later, maybe like a decade later, maybe 2 decades later, we might have a 5th Godzilla era, maybe, but maybe never. So we'll just see. So anyway, guys, I'm Fred Rex here. Like this video, comment this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the notification bells for my videos to pop up. So it's really useful to be on your phone or any device, though. So I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one, and take care.